Do you know passing PMP exam does not mean to solve thousands of PMP exam questions? That is right. You heard it right. Before I start explaining these questions to you, I want to tell you a story. One time, and it's I think 1 or 2 years back. One time, a student reached out to me and asked me, Varun, I heard that there is some website abcxyz.com. I don't remember the name. They are giving a dump of some thousand PMP exam questions, and they are saying that if you study these dump, then you will definitely pass. His colleague actually reached out to him, and he was practicing through that channel. So guess what happened to that Mr. Colleague? Of course, he failed the exam, and there is no such story that these exam questions would come from X source or Y source or Z source. I'm telling you right away. So if your expectation is that from this video, the exam PMP exam questions will come, then you can close this video right away. However, if you want to understand that how I am dealing with questions, how I'm using elimination technique to come up with the PMP exam questions, how I am approaching to the questions, then this video is right for you. Okay, and before we move into the next stage, who am I? My name is Varun Anand, and I am the founder of Edu HubSpot, a training company which deals with PMP and CAPM certification exam. Before I start explaining this question to you, I have one request to you. And what is that request? I want to make sure that, whenever I read a question to you, please pause the video after I read the question. And in the comment section of YouTube, please write the question number and the answer, what you are looking into it. What do I mean by that? Let's say this is a question 1. Whenever I'll read this question to you, just pause the video right away and write question 1. Answer is, let's say, C. I've not read the question yet. Let's say you say answer is C. Now, don't just say answer is C, B, A, B, C, D. I really don't care about it. But what I care about is give me the reasoning that why you think C is correct or why you think B is correct. In this way, I want this video to be as much interactive as possible. When you give me a reasoning that Varun, I think for question 1, C is correct, and this is my reasoning for it, then I would be able to reply to that comment and say that, okay, yes, Mr. or Miss, this looks good and your reasoning is correct. We don't want to come to correct answer. We want to see an approach why you are selecting a particular answer. This video is all about concept building. Okay, so let's go right into this question. You are a project manager and you have received a meeting invite from your from your senior manager. The title of the meeting is Kill Point Meeting. Okay, what is the purpose of this meeting? Okay, kill point meeting, there are a couple of names for kill point. There is also named as phase entrance, and then there is phase exit. I think there is another name like stage gate, and there are a couple of more. You can actually refer to PMBOK for that. But let's see, what is the purpose of kill point meeting? In this meeting, the project manager and senior manager will kill a project. Okay, yes, you can actually kill a project in a kill point meeting, but this is really the only purpose of kill point meeting? I don't think so. So A is out. See how I'm approaching to a question. I really want you to make sure that when you're practicing questions, you are attempting to the question in a similar manner. This is known as elimination technique. So whenever you practice, write down these answer option for each question, like question 1 A B C D, question 2 A B C D. Then see, okay, what, I think A is not correct, so eliminate that. B, I think may be correct. C is definitely not correct, so C is gone. So out of B and D, I think B is the better option. This is how you have to approach to a question. This PMP question video is all about approaching a question. Okay, let's go to option B. In this meeting, all the team members will sit in one room to kill a project. Okay, first of all, in kill point meeting, it's not necessarily that all the team members would be there. Definitely there would be someone from senior management, and of course project manager would be there, but it's not necessary that all the team members. So this statement where it says all the team members, this means that is not a correct statement. So B is out as well. C, this meeting will discuss the transition from one phase to another within a project lifecycle. Okay, that is the correct definition of kill point meeting, and I'll come to that. But let me read option D for you. D, in this meeting, the project manager will be officially assigned to lead the effort. That is not at all correct. This is something which happens in the project charter. So project charter is the official document which will state that, okay, Mr. A or Miss B is the project manager to this project. So that is not the purpose of Kill Point. Now, what happens in Kill Point meeting is, think from this perspective, that let's say phase 1 of my project is to make a website. Okay, phase 2 of my website is to, let's say, to make an Android app. Now, after phase 1, we will have this Kill Point meeting, and in this Kill Point meeting there would be senior management who I would have to give a reasoning that why I think that Android app is, or an Apple app is, a necessity. And the senior management will give me reasoning, will give me counter reasoning and ask, Varun, do you really think so? This makes sense or not? And based upon this negotiation, if everything goes good, then we will move from one phase to another phase. If it's not good, then we will kill the project right there. So out of all the 4 options, option C looks like the best. So I hope you guys also selected option C. But please don't forget, in the YouTube comments, give me a reasoning. If you selected C, why do you think C is correct? If you selected A, B, D, then also I really want you to make sure that you write in the YouTube comments that why you think A, B or D is correct. Trust me, I will reply to each and every comment, and I do that. You can see that in the comments below, but I really do that. So we want this video to be as much interactive as possible. Okay, let's move to next question. Okay, you have been asked to create user manuals for a call center day-to-day task. Okay, what does day-to-day task means? The keyword is operation. What is the correct term for this scenario? Okay, so you have been tasked to create user manuals. So it looks like that when you're creating a user manual, it is definitely not an ever-ending thing. You will create user manual and it will end. So this means this particular, whatever it is, it has a definite end date. So if it has a definite end date, it looks like it is a project. Okay, keep another thing in mind is, what are the 2 keywords for project? First keyword is that it should definitely have an end date, which in this case it is. And second, the product should be unique. When you're creating the user manuals, the user manual in itself is unique. No doubt they have given the keyword that it's for call centers day-to-day task, which is an operation, but that is the functioning of call center, which is an operation, not the the task or the project which you are doing right now. So out of all 4, A looks like the best. It's definitely not program, because program is all about set of similar projects. And over here we just talked about one project, and I'm not talking about multiple projects, right? So program is definitely out. Similarly, portfolio is actually a combination of project, program, operations. It's like a mixture of all and everything together. But in this question, we really asked only one statement, that which was to create user manuals for call centers day-to-day operation. I didn't talk about any big thing or any multiple things. So definitely portfolio is out as well. Okay, so the correct answer for this question is A. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 6. I hope you guys are writing down the answer option. Again, make sure, keep in mind that you are writing the reasoning why you think A is correct or B is correct in the comments below. Let's go to the question number 3. Okay, let's see. You're a project coordinator who's trying to secure developers for a project. Your title allows the allocation of some resources. So you have little power, I would say. That is one of the keyword, that you have little power. But you are usually denied the resources. Okay, that's the another keyword, that you have little power. However, you are denied resources because they are busy on other projects. What type of organization are you working in? Okay. Now, please pause the video right away. What do you think the correct answer is? Write in the comments below that I think A is correct, B is correct, C is correct, D is whatever. And please just don't write A, B, C or D is correct. Give me the reasoning. Trust me, I'll reply to your comment, but I want to know how your concept is there, and are you doing it right or not. This PMP exam question is all about learning. Okay, so there are a couple of keywords. First keyword is that your title is project coordinator. That is an important keyword. Second keyword is that you have little power, but you are often denied resources. So honestly, it is not organic or simple. Organic or simple is a very small organization where everyone reports to the owner of the company. Nowhere in the question we talked about this kind of scenario. So D is out. Composite organization is is more like a project oriented organization where you're following a certain pattern, and based upon that pattern, you got a special project. Now this is a new project and it's a very big project for you, and you want to change the way you handle the projects. When you move from one stage to another phase, that is known as composite, that you make some kind of special arrangement for this special project. That's not what we are talking about here. Now, out of A and B, in functional and weak matrix, first of all, I'll give you a keyword and keep that in mind. That's an important keyword, that whenever you see the words project coordinator or project expediter, you straight away should go for weak matrix. That is the correct answer. Now, in this question, the second keyword was that you have some power. In functional organization, PC or P, they don't, or PM, they don't have any power at all. The real power is actually in the hand of functional manager. But in this question, it says you have some power, but often you are denied resources. This means the correct answer is B. So this organization type is very important from your PMP exam perspective. You will get lots of questions on these, and there are not just four options which you see. There are many other different types of organization structure, like strong matrix, balanced matrix, and PMO is also another type. So make sure you're actually, once we are done with this video, I'll give you a link to my course videos. You can actually go to my website also, which is eduhubspot.com. There you can practice some other questions, practice simulators, and you can watch, of course, new videos. So in this question, the correct answer is B. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 47. For every question, I'm giving you PMBOK's number also, PMBOK page number. Why? Because I want you to make sure you go to the PMBOK, because everything should be related to PMBOK. If it is not in PMBOK, this means it's not important from your exam perspective. Okay, let's move to the next question. You're a project manager working for a very small organization. Okay, we are on question number 4 now, where everyone share multiple roles and responsibilities. Everyone reports to the owner of the company. What type of organization are you working in? So I just gave you the answer to the previous question, and I think you know the answer for this question also. But again, please pause this video right now, and in the comment section, write it down. What do you think is the correct answer? Again, please just don't give me the reasoning that A is correct or C is correct. Give me a reasoning why you think so. Whatever it might be, give me a reasoning. I want you to build your concepts here. Okay. So everyone, it's a very small organization. First of all, let's eliminate a couple of them. Multi-divisional is not a small organization. Multi-divisional is something, you are located in 10 different countries, and every country has their own office. They are, maintaining and doing things. So D is out over there. Now, we didn't talk about functional manager. We didn't talk about project manager. We didn't talk about project coordinator, expediter. All those things are missing. Instead, what we talked about was that there is an owner of the company. If there is an owner of the company and everyone reports to the owner, and everyone, wear multiple hats, this means we are talking about organic or simple. It's not weak matrix organization. It's not functional. However, it is actually the organic or simple organization. So in this case, the correct answer is C. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 47. I hope you got the answer right. Okay, so I hope you have got the momentum. Let's move to the next question. Okay, so you are a newly assigned project manager, and you are working on a new implementation project. So first keyword is that you are a newly member. In order to understand the scope of the project, you meet with the associates who have worked on similar projects in the past. As a new project manager, you should do that. You analyze their feedback and identify a risk they have missed but you have no experience in handling that type of risk. What should you do in such a scenario? Okay, so what does it look like? It looks like you are a new project manager. You worked with your team members, your other colleagues, and they were telling you about their past experience. Because of that, you came up with some kind of risk, and now you are not sure how to handle that kind of risk. You might be like, you don't have any experience in that, or since you're new to the organization, you don't know how, things actually work in the organization. Now again, please pause the video. What do you think is the correct answer? And give me a reasoning for that. Let me read that out for you. Okay, A, do nothing as this is related to past projects. Okay, so as a project manager, running away from your responsibilities, like doing nothing is similar to running away from your responsibility, is not a good thing to do. So wherever it says do nothing, when you have actually identified a risk which might cause a big problem to your project, you should not ignore. So A is out. B, document it, but since it's based on past project, make it low level. Okay, what do you mean by low level? Am I talking about, again, of course you should document it. I'm not denying that fact, but how can you come to the conclusion that it is low level? Since you don't have any experience, you should actually talk to some expert, or you should try to analyze the impact of it. And based upon that, you should come to a conclusion that it is low, medium, high, whatever it is. Okay. So B is out as well. C, document it and try to analyze. Of course, you should document it, take help from your PMO department, take help from an expert, or take help even from your colleagues, that, what is the impact of that risk. And based upon the impact of the risk, you should give a reasoning, like you should document it. So C looks like a good option till now. D, do nothing as nobody knows about it. As I told you before, it's as per PMI Code of Ethics and Professional Responsibility, doing nothing is not a good option at all. You should always do something. And of course, in this type of scenario where you have actually find out what the risk is, you cannot just simply ignore it. Okay. So in this case, the correct answer is C. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 3, on PMI Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct. Now, PMI Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct, there is a PDF document on the PMI.org website. But if you don't get that, if you're not able to find that out, just send an email to my support team or give us a call, and we can share that PDF document with you. Or if you, and it's not necessary honestly to read that PDF. If you want to understand, like in the way I'm explaining it to you in a video, then go back to my website, which is www.eduhubspot.com. So www.eduhubspot.com, and in the introduction section videos, there are a video on PMI Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct. You can watch this. I think it's just 10-15 minute video, and you will of course learn a lot. Let's move to the next question. You're a project manager in your organization. Your team members report to you, and you handle their yearly performance review. You're also responsible for resolving issues in case there are any. It is your responsibility to release the resources when the project is completed so that they can start the new project. What kind of organization do you work in? Okay, another good question, I would say. So again, whatever you think is the correct option, write down the question number with the answer and give me an explanation that out of all the keywords, whatever, of course I will say those keywords to you. Why do you think the A is correct, or B is correct, or C is correct, or D? Give me those keywords in the question. That's how we want to deal with it. Okay. So good. Go ahead, pause it and write the correct answer. Let me do it for you all as well. First of all, the keyword is the team members report to you and you are a project manager. So that's an important keyword. You do their yearly performance review. You are also responsible for resolving issues. So this means you have a lot of power. And the last and final thing is, it is your responsibility to release the resources. This means you don't have, these resources do not have home. So that's another keyword as well. Let's see what's the correct answer. A, we have balance matrix. Okay, in balance matrix, we have both project manager as well as functional manager. And both of them has 50-50% power. In this question, it looks like the PM has most power, and we are actually not talking about functional manager at all. We didn't use the word functional manager. So A is definitely out. PMO is a good, but it again depends upon what type of PMO it is. Is it supportive? Is it controlling? Is it directive? There are different types of PMO department, and we know we talked about it, right? So B is out as well. Now in strong matrix, we have both project manager and functional manager, and PM has more power. But did we really talked about functional manager in this question? Really? I don't think so. We only talked about the project manager. So that is out as well. And finally, and the remaining one is left is project oriented. So project oriented, trust me, PM is God. All the powers, all the decisions are something which is taken by the project manager, which is similar to in this question, where if you see the project manager is releasing the resources, the project manager resolving the issues, and everything is actually done by the PM. So in this case, the correct answer is D. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 47. I repeat, these organizational, different types of organization is very, very important from the exam perspective. So make sure you're watching the role organization type video on my website to make sure your concepts are strong. Okay, let's see next question. So next question is, you are using 3-point estimation technique to develop the total budget for the project. Okay, so 3-point estimation technique we are using. Okay, that doesn't make any difference, but it's okay. A more experienced colleague suggests that you increase each estimate by 10% to account for any unknown risk. What should you do? Okay, so first of all, again, pause the video. Give me the answer. What do you think? Should we increase the estimate or should we not increase the estimate? And whatever it is, give me a reasoning for it. Okay, so please go ahead and pause the video now. Now, in this case, the couple of keywords are, first, it says increase each estimate by 10%. Are you allowed to increase the estimate by 10% on your own? But over here it says to account for unknown risk. What is unknown risk? For unknown risk, we actually use contingency reserve. Contingency reserve. This is, and there is another term which is also known as management reserve. So contingency reserve is used for known unknowns, which is that risk which are known, and those risk happens. And management reserve is known as unknown unknowns, which is the risk which I don't know at all, and that happens on the project. So all these things are actually they are actually it depends from, first of all, depends upon what organization type you are, and it is some percentage, like it would be like 5% or 10% of cost baseline and things like that. So that's how you calculate the contingency reserve and management reserve. Now but in this question, your colleague has just referred to you and said that, increase it by 10% to be on a safer side. You cannot just simply go ahead and increase it. So first of all, that is the wrong thing to do. Let's see. Do not increase the estimate. Yes, as I told you before, you should not increase the estimate. B, you need to inform the customer before increasing it. Okay, as I told you, you should not increase the estimate. So why would you just inform the customer of something wrong? Like if you want to do something wrong, I'll go to my customer and say, can I increase the estimate? That's what it is. So that's not what we are doing here. So B is out. C, increase the estimate first and then tell the customer the actual reason behind it. Okay, first of all, I'm saying that you should not increase it, but over here it's saying I should increase it and I should tell the customer also. Again, that is not the correct reasoning. D, because you are a PM, there is no need to inform the customer. Just go ahead and increase. Okay, keep one in mind. PM does not mean that you have the license to do wrong things on the project, right? So D is out as well. So out of all the 4 options, A looks like the best option, which is the correct one. Refer to PMBOK page 3, which is on professional responsibility, the PMI Code of Ethics and Professional Responsibility. Again, in the description of this video, there are a couple of links on my videos on, practice questions. So make sure you can go there and, practice those questions. But before you click on that, I want to make sure that you complete this exercise with me. It's not a long video, but you will learn a lot. Okay, next one. Todd is a new project manager in your company. Okay, welcome Todd. Your company has a culture where a new PM is helped by senior members of the team. You have been assigned as their PM buddy. So PM buddy is more like an organizational term. Whenever a new company comes in, or whenever a new project manager comes in, you tell him or her to mirror someone, some senior or experienced project manager, so that he or she can learn from it. The new PM asks you whose responsibility is to determine the priorities between projects in a company. What should be your answer to them? Okay, so the question clearly, it says, it's a very simple question. Okay, before I give you the reasoning and before I start going into the justification, I want you to pause the video right away, give me the correct answer and give me the correct reasoning for that in the YouTube description below. So please don't be lazy, go ahead and do that. Okay, let's see. First of all, there are a couple of keywords for this. The main statement of this question is that the new PM asks you whose responsibility is to determine the priorities between projects. Okay, priorities between projects. Let's see. Okay, is it the project manager's job to determine the priorities between projects? So if I'm like, for example, if there are 10 projects in a company, A, B, C, D till whatever. Let's say there are 4 projects to be on a shorter scale. And each project manager, you have 2 project managers, and these 4 projects would be assigned between these 2 project managers. Who will tell these 2 project managers that A is higher priority, or B is higher priority, C is higher priority, or D is higher priority? Someone would tell, right? It is definitely not it's up to the discretion of project managers to decide whether my project is more important or your project is more important, right? So it is definitely not PM's job. Project management team, this is something which is assigned, I would say, after after a project is started and all. They cannot decide the priority. It's like, even project management team is even lower than project manager. So I'm saying someone higher up in the organization should take that decision. See, project management office, this is a very good option, I would say. Definitely PMO is some, there are first of all different types of PMO, and in one of the PMO, the project managers are actually assigned, and they also determine the priorities between different projects. They use different metrics like NPV, payback period, cost benefit ratio and things like that. It depends from organization to organization. So C looks like a good. The customer, okay. Now, a lot of people might have selected this option, the customer, but let me tell you one thing. Let's say I'm handling 5 customers, and I'm getting one project from each of these 5 customers. Will the customers tell me that, Varun, my project is more important than your customer B or C or D? They can of course recommend it, but ultimately it's not their decision, right? I'm doing the projects for them. So it is up to me or my organization to determine which projects are more important. So customer do not have the power to determine whether their projects is more important as compared to others and things like that. A lot of people, a lot of customers try to do that, but honestly it's not their responsibility of doing that. So as you can see, using elimination technique, I eliminated all the option, and the correct answer in this case is C, which is the PMO department. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 48. One thing I would like to let you know in this is that there are different types of PMOs in the PMBOK itself. So make sure you are properly going through that PMBOK. So write a note of it on your sheet, on your notes, whatever you're making, that after this video, you'll go to PMBOK and you will read on page 42 the different PMOs. Or you can actually go to my, in the description, there is a link to my videos. You can go to my videos section also, where in the introduction section, there is one video on PMOs. So you can, very well go and talk about, learn from that as well. So let's move to next one. Which of the following is an enterprise environmental factor? Okay, another important one. So, I know a lot of people actually, I on a daily basis I get, many emails. I can't even tell you the count. And people are asking, Varun, can you tell me one of, my students from my mentor program? They ask me, Varun, can you tell me the difference between EEF and OPA? I always get confused what EEF is and what OPA is. So let me tell you right now, and I'll try in just 1 or 2 minutes. I can't explain the entire picture, but at least I'll try to do a little bit of justice to this. So EEF is enterprise environmental factor, something which is external to your project, which might, have an effect on your project. Like something like, let's say you're working on a project and stock market crashed, okay, which might impact your project. So something which was not in your hand, but something external which impacted your project. This is an actually example of EEF. On the other hand, which is OPA, which is known as organizational process asset. So in OPA, what happens is, like something like, your processes, policies of your organization. Like I'll say, the lessons learned document, the repository, where do you save all those things? That is an example of OPA. So something which is internal to your organization, you have to follow certain policies and things. All those are part of your OPA. If you want to know more about EEF OPA, then in the description, there's a link to my website, my course videos, my questions. Go back to my introduction management videos. Over there, you will see the difference between EEF and OPA video. It's free, no worries. Just go ahead and enjoy. Okay. Again, pause the video and give me an answer of why do you think A is correct or B is correct, C is correct or D is correct. Okay. Let's see. Change management knowledge base. Okay, as I told you, change management knowledge, OPA is a kind of a repository, right? So the question is, which of the following is an EEF? So change management knowledge base is actually an example of OPA, not an EEF, because it's a knowledge base, right? It's a repository. Repository is more like a, always an OPA, so you can eliminate that. Change control process, as I told you, processes, policies, all those are always part of OPA. So this is gone as well. Identical historical information. The word historical information is actually a keyword for OPA. So you can eliminate this choice as well. And finally, we have commercial databases. Okay, a lot of people think, you might say, oh, Varun, it's a database, so it's a repository. No, commercial databases is something different. Think of more like something, a benchmarking of something, or, something, a risk database. Like, these, if you are handling very complex integration project, then your risk level is very high. So something which is external to your project, something which is not in your hand, that is the true example of commercial databases. So a lot of people get confused. What is the real meaning of commercial database? This is like, benchmarking, like, your risk. All those are actually example of commercial database. And this is the correct answer for EEF, which is your enterprise environmental factors. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 39. There are a lot of bullet points in EEF and OPA. So again, write this note that you have to go to PMBOK page 39 and read those bullet points of EEF and OPA. Okay, and if you want to understand through a video where I explained this beautiful concept in a much longer video, then of course you can go back to my website, which is in the description below, and go to and try to understand the difference between EEF, OPA. In the introduction section, there is a video on this also. Okay, let's see the next question. So, good job, guys. We are at question number 10. You're doing a great job. I'm sure you're learning a lot. Try to learn the way I'm approaching to a question. And, again, I'm not saying these PMP exam questions will come from this knowledge base with this database, but of course, more than 95% of my questions in my database, my Edu HubSpot database, are scenario based. And you will see questions like, most of the questions in a PMP exam would be scenario based, where they'll be talking about what should the project manager do next, what is the first thing project manager should update, and things like that. All the questions would be on scenario based, and you should practice good real scenario based questions and see how I'm using this elimination technique of approaching to a question. So this is what you need to learn from me through this video. And of course, to pass the exam, if you need my mentor program, simply don't hesitate. Reach out to my team. My team's email address is below. And if you don't want to reach out to my team and you want to reach out to me directly, over here I'm giving you my direct email address. It's my first name dot last name, which is Varun, VARUN dot Anand, ANAND @eduhubspot.com, eduhubspot.com. Just reach out directly to me, and trust me, I will definitely reply. I'm very, very quick, and that's one good thing about my students tell me about me. So let's back to a question. You are a vendor who has been asked to set up a PMO on the buyer side of the organization. Okay, the customer requirement from the PMO is well-defined framework, where the PMO will provide various templates, forms, etc. Yet the PMs will not report directly to the PMO. What type of PMO is this? Okay, read the question. Here you go. Pause it now and make sure you give me a reasoning that why you think supportive is correct, or controlling, or directive, or hybrid. Please do so now. Okay, let's do it. So a couple of keywords in this question. First is that there is a well-defined framework. That is the first keyword in the question. Okay, well-defined framework. Second keyword, I would say, it's giving you forms, templates, which is a good thing. Okay, and the third keyword in this question is that the PMs don't report to PMO. So PMs don't report to PMO. So first of all, there are only 3 types of PMO defined in PMBOK 6th edition. So, which is supportive, controlling, and directive. Hybrid is not type of PMO, so you can eliminate that choice. So one answer option is gone. Now, in the second PMP exam question, there are 3 other options which are left, which is supportive, controlling, and directive. Okay, now supportive is the pretty basic one, which actually gives you the forms and templates. So if you see here, well-defined framework is, let's say, point 1, forms and templates at point 2. So supportive means which is covering point number 2. Okay, and in supportive, since the power is very low, PMs actually don't report to us, so it is covering actually point 3 also. However, supportive does not have a well-defined framework, so that is missing from supportive. So A is gone. Now out of B and C, let me do C first. Directive is where PMs actually report to the PMO department only. So this is actually which is opposite of point 3. So in this question it says PMs don't report to PMO, but in directive PMs actually report to PMO. So C is gone as well. Now the only one which is left is controlling. So controlling is, of course, you will get the forms and templates, which is point 2. Of course, PMs don't report to the PMO, so this means it's going with point 3 also. And the most important feature of controlling is that it has a well-defined framework. They have different processes, they have methodology to follow, which is actually the unique point of controlling, which is your answer option B, controlling. So I hope you liked this exercise, and I hope you selected B. If you did not select B, and as a lot of people don't select B, give me a reasoning that why you did not select B, and in the comments below. Now also you can actually go back to PMBOK page 48, pause the video right now, open the PMBOK page number 48 and try to see what are the different types. I've tried to explain it to you, and I hope you get it clear. But if you're still confused, again, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or my team, and we will definitely reply, or even write a comment in the YouTube right now. I will reply to that as well. Let's move to next question. Question 11. So if you see, whatever questions we are doing till now, all the questions are actually scenario based. Most of the questions are actually scenario based, and that's how your real exam would be. This is the type of question you should practice, not so simple. If you're scoring 70s, 80s in some kind of questions, this means you're missing something. PMP exam, PMP certification is not easy. Trust me guys, it has to be a lot of practice, but not just thousands of questions, but doing it right. using some concepts building. And this questions, the way I'm approaching it to you, I'm trying to show you how I am dealing with the question, and this is how you should learn as well. Let's do next question. You are an experienced project manager who has worked many years with your company. You have complete knowledge of the processes and how things work in your organization. However, you have limited knowledge about project selection methods. Okay, so you have limited knowledge about project selection methods. Recently, you have been tasked with choosing the best project out of multiple selections. What should be your first step? Okay, so you have been given a task where you don't have the right knowledge. You're lacking something. What should you do? Okay, so please go ahead, pause the video, think whichever is the correct option, try to use elimination and give me the reasoning why you selected that in the comments below. Okay. A, select the best project using your best judgment. Okay, as I told you before, in the question itself, it is saying that you don't have the right knowledge. So if you don't have the right knowledge, how can you select the best project? What if you select the wrong project, right? So A is definitely out. B, as you have no knowledge, refuse to take the assignment. Okay, as per PMI Code of Ethics and Professional Responsibility, you are refusing to take the assignment. I can agree that you don't have the knowledge, but let the management take that decision and just don't simply refuse it. You are here to learn something new. Simply refusing it that I cannot do it is not the right thing. The same approach goes to your PMP exam also. Just by watching a couple of videos or going through a boring PMBOK, you decide that I cannot do it. Please think again. You have to do this, means you're not doing something right. So if the approach is right, you will definitely pass the exam. C, get an expert's help to select the best project. This looks like a good option, that you're taking someone's help to help you select the best project. D, inform the management about your lack of knowledge in the particular area. Okay, D looks like a good option as well. Now out of C and D, both of them looks good, but D is a better choice, and I'll tell you the reasoning why. C means that you are taking experts' help, but in this case, you are not informing the management that you took experts' help. You are trying to show it to the management that I did this job, yeah, which is unethical, which is not right. In D, you are being ethically safe and sound, and you're telling the management you don't have an experience. If you want me to give me an expert and take help from expert, I'm fine with that. Or if you agree, or if you believe in my judgment, I'm fine with that also. So in option D, you're actually being honest about it. That's what it is. So that's why we selected option D as the right choice. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 3. PMBOK page 3 has only, I would say, one small paragraph on PMI Code of Ethics. But if you want, just send my team an email and we'll share the PMI Code of Ethics. And even if you want, let's say the ITTO sheet, it's free of cost. You can actually go on my website and download that on the homepage itself. Or you can send us an email, we can share the ITTO sheet and of course the PMI Code of Ethics. But more than reading a PDF, it's better to watch a video, an interesting video, which is on my website again, of course, in the introduction section on PMI Code of Ethics. So make sure you're watching that. Okay. Let's move to next question. Project A has a benefit to cost ratio of 24%. Okay. So project A has BCR of 24%. Project B has BCR of 9%. Project C has BCR of 41%. And project D has BCR of 16%. Which is the best project out of these? Okay. Make your guesses, pause the video, select the answer and give me, of course, in the YouTube comments, give me a reasoning why you selected A or B or C or D. Again, just please don't simply write A is correct. I don't want to see that. It's of no use to you and it's of no use to me. What I want is to learn out of it. Give me the reasoning. I want to correct your reasoning if it is wrong. Okay. So we can clearly see project C as the highest percent and project B has the lowest percent. And we are talking about BCR, which is benefit to cost ratio. Let me do it here. Benefit divided by cost. Benefit to cost ratio. Now BCR, higher the BCR, the better it is for the project. So the project with highest BCR should be selected, which is project C. Now in the same question, if I would have given you CBR, which is cost benefit ratio, which is cost divided by benefit, which is actually opposite of BCR. In that, lower the number, the better it is, which is project B of 9%. So if CBR was given, I would have selected B. If BCR is given, I would select C. A and D are completely out. Now, in the exam, it's not necessary that you will only get BCR, CBR. There are a couple of other terms also, which is NPV, payback period, opportunity cost, and there are a couple of other terms also, and an important one. Of course, I've given some questions, and I've explained those questions on these different terms. But in order to understand, fully grasp this concept, again, I would want you to go to, in the description below, there is a link to my introduction management videos. Go and watch the project selection methods video. You will love it, and you will see the way how I'm approaching to the question. So in this one, the correct answer is C. Higher the BCR, the better it is. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 34 for more information. Okay, let's move to next one. You are managing a project which is in planning phase. You have completed developing the project charter, and this project contains multiple phases with multiple contractors. So you're dealing with a lot of stakeholders. The contract contains proprietary information from vendors. One of the functional managers of your organization wants to view this information. Okay, some proprietary information. Okay, what should be your response to them? Okay, please again read the answer options, select which one is correct to you, and give me a reasoning in the YouTube comments why you selected that. Okay, I'm pause the video right away. Okay, let's do it. Now, first of all, tell me, is it okay to share information with your colleagues in the same organization? That's the first thing. A lot of people might say, no, Varun, it's not okay. But, honestly, it's not true. You can share information with your colleagues. Like, for example, I most of the time in my, whenever I do some kind of projects, I actually go back to my repository and I use various templates, forms, etc., all those things, so that I can reuse them. But this situation is a little different. This situation is the proprietary information is given to us. So you cannot actually share the information because the word propriety is given. However, if the word propriety was not given, then of course you can go ahead and share the information. So let's see. The functional manager is not part of the project, you should deny it, which makes sense. Okay, so let's keep A. B, you can share the information with them because they belong to the, as I told you, since the word propriety is given, you cannot share the information. So B is out. C, deny the request to protect the confidentiality of the information. Okay, so C is also saying that you should not. D, accept the request but tell them not to share the information with anyone else. Okay, you are being unethical if you share that information which has some proprietary information. So D is gone as well. Now out of A and C, A is saying you should deny it because that person is not part of your project. C is saying deny it to protect the confidentiality of the information. Now as I told you, you can share the information with your colleagues even if they're not part of a project, if the word propriety is not given. So this means A would have been correct if the word propriety was not given, but in this case the word propriety is given, so this means you have to protect the confidentiality of the information. So out of A and C, I'm not saying A is bad, but I'm saying C is better. So a lot of time you will see these questions where you have to select a better answer option, and that's what we did. So C is a better choice. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 3. Okay, let's move to question 14 now. You are a project manager and you have divided the product development into series of iterations where you will be adding more functionality during each iteration. After the final iteration, your product will be completely functional. What development life cycle are you following? Okay, another good one, another good question, and I'm sure a lot of people might have got this question wrong. So, okay, no, you have not attempted yet. Give me the answer. What do you think? Is A correct, B correct, C correct, or D? In the comments below, and give me the reasoning. Why do you think your preferred selection is correct? So, pause the video right away, and I'm giving you a minute to do so. And before that, and I'll explain that. Okay. These life cycles are actually very important topic, honestly, and I cannot, do a true justice if I explain these life cycle in this, this video. So in the description below, there is a link to my video sections, my, my website. Go to my introduction management video, and over there I've actually explained life cycles also. It's free of cost. Just go there and try to understand different life cycles. Very important topic from the PMP certification perspective, PMP exam perspective, very important. Okay. Now think of predictive life cycle more like a waterfall model. Waterfall model is where your scope is defined, your cost is defined, everything is defined upfront, and then you move to the next phase. So that's not what we are talking about in this question. This question, you are actually adding functionality in small chunks. Like I'll give you an example, and hybrid life cycle is like a combination of different, combination of agile plus something else, like waterfall plus agile and things. So hybrid is gone as well. Now out of iterative and incremental, first of all, both of these actually run hand in hand. Like think from this perspective that, you want to make a login page. Okay, you want to make a login page. So in first iteration, what you did, you added a username box and you added a password box. That's your iteration 1. Then, and I'm explaining actually incremental life cycle to you. Then in iteration 2, what you did, you added the username, password was already added, but you added a functionality which is forgot password link, forgot password. Then in iteration 3, what you did, you added username, password was already, forgot password was already there. But once a person gives the right, clicks on the right option, like gives a right combination username, what is the first screen they will see? So what you're doing after iteration 3, I can say that this product, whatever I'm making, this web page is fully functional. That is known as incremental life cycle, and that's what we have explained in the question. You want me to read the question again for you? That will explain it to you in more sense. Let's read it. You're a project manager and you divided the product into series of iteration where you will be adding more functionality during each iteration. After the final iteration, your product will be complete. That's exactly what we did. And when we do it, step by step, we are actually doing different iterations. In different iterations, we do something, that is your iterative life cycle. But when I combine everything together, 1, 2, 3, that is known as your incremental life cycle. If you want to understand this in much more detail, then I request you to go to my introduction management video. Not now. Once you're done with these questions, it's not a big video. Make sure you're watching this video completely, but write it down in your notes that you have to go to introduction management videos and try to understand those concepts as well. And if you need any help, you want me, just send me an email. You can reach out to my support team, or you can send me an email as well. I'll give you my email address at the end of this video, so don't worry. Okay, so in this case, the correct answer is C. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 19. Okay, so we are almost there. I hope you are learning from this exercise. Stay tuned, keep on going. You have to learn a lot. You are in the learning phase. So, just keep on doing the hard work. You guys are doing great. Next, your customer requested a scope related change during a project, which is very much normal, right? The change was formally approved by the change control board and you are in the process of implementing it. Okay, so there was a change request, that change got accepted, approved, and you are providing regular implementation status to the customer. So your team has actually started implementing also, and you are giving implementation status to the customer. What is the correct term for the information you provide? Okay, Please pause the video right now. Give me the reasoning. We are talking about data, work performance data, information or work performance report, or we are actually talking about PMIs. So please pause the video now. Okay, I hope you selected the right answer in the YouTube comments below. I hope. But honestly, the keyword in this question is implementation status. Implementation status. And implementation status is actually part of your work performance information. You are sending information to the stakeholders that this is where we are on this change request. Now, a lot of people actually get confused, and I get this email a lot where, Varun, can you explain what is the difference between work performance data, work performance information and report? And I always tell them, think of work performance data as raw observations, and think of work performance information or something substantial. Then when this raw observation gets converted into something more substantial, like something like CPI, SPI value, that is your work performance information. When you send this CPI, SPI in some kind of report, that is known as work performance report, like your weekly status report. And finally, we have the PMIs, which is the keyword for PMIs is repository. Now, if you see clearly, we are on the question number 15th actually. You can see that, how beautifully I am coming up with these keywords, for each of these different terms. And your entire PMP preparation is actually based upon keywords, and you have to learn those keywords. If you want to learn those keywords, if you want to be part of my mentor program, just send me an email, and I'm sure you will like it. So out of all these, we are not talking about raw observations, we are not talking about some kind of reports, but we are talking about implementation status, something more substantial, which is your work performance information. So in this case, the correct answer is B. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 26. So write a note right now that you have to go back to page number 26 of PMBOK and understand and read the three different work performance data, information and report. And if you are confused with the PMBOK language, which a lot of people are, make sure you go to my video in the introduction management and see how I have explained these different. It's in the introduction section on my website. And you know my website, I hope so. It's www.eduhubspot.com. Okay, oops, it's www.eduhubspot.com. Let's move to next one. Okay, your CTO requested a feasibility study comparing two separate software platforms. What plan/document would you share with him or her? Basically, they're trying to ask you which particular plan or which particular document has feasibility study mentioned in that. Okay, please pause the video, give me the reasoning why you selected A, B, C, D in the YouTube comments now. Okay, now before I start explaining this question to you, I want to tell you a trick. Trick is known as father-child relationship, and this is actually authored by me, Varun. What is this father-child relationship? This father-child relationship is that whenever a question is being explained, and there are both father as well as child in the answer option, you will always select the child. What do I mean by that? Let's say a question says, give me, which of the following plan or document has the information about how you can control scope. Okay, this is the question. How you can control scope. A lot of people will think the answer is project management plan because that has information about how you can control scope. Let's see, there is another option which is scope management plan. A lot of people might select scope management plan. Now, if you see properly, project management plan is actually a combination of, I think, 18 or 19 sub plans, right? All of these plans, I call project management plan as the father, and I call the scope management plan as the child. Now, out of this father and child, you will always select the child, which in this case is scope management plan. Now, why I explained this theory to you, and I've given a lot of similar theories in my course videos. So you should learn, you can go to my introduction videos and learn from it. But why I've given this theory specifically in this question is because this question talks about feasibility study. Feasibility study. Now, in the feasibility study is actually mentioned in project charter. It's actually mentioned in project business case. Now, out of charter and business case, I would call project charter as the father and business case as the child. Why? Because if you remember, one of the input to develop project charter process is the business case. So business case actually is the input to these, the business documents are actually the input to the project charters, and they actually give you that feasibility study information. As per the father-child theory, you will always select the child, which is your answer option D. B, the project management plan is out. Benefits management plan talks all about benefits only. It's not talking about the feasibility study. So C is out as well. So the correct answer should be D, which is the project business case. Refer to PMBOK page 29 and 30 for more information. Okay. Okay, let's move to next one. You are chosen to be the project manager for a job in another country. So you're working in another country. It's not your home country. The customer hosted a project kickoff party, okay, and gave valuable gifts to all project team members. I hope I get a customer like this, okay, who gives valuable gifts. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. That's not ethical. The customer also requested that you complete the project sooner than anticipated. What should you do? Okay, first of all, accepting gifts, is it a good thing or is it not a good thing? Honestly, it depends upon what type of organization you work in. But if it is not given, then you should not accept gift. It is unethical. Now, again, I want you to pause the video right away. In the comment section below, give me the answer. What do you think? Is A correct, B correct, C correct, or D correct? Give me a reasoning for it. Please just don't write the answer option. Give me the reasoning. Okay, A, accept the offer because it is not considered a bribe. As I told you, if it is not mentioned that your organization policy permits you to take gifts, it is considered to be a bribe. So you should not take it. Reject the offer because it violates the code of ethics and professional conduct. That looks like a good choice, but let's read the other ones as well. Politely refuse the offer and accept the customer's demand of completing the project sooner. Okay, I'm assuming you might have selected, a lot of people actually select answer option C for this. And because, you're politely refusing instead of just, upfront rejecting the offer, you are politely refusing the offer. Now that I can agree that, politely refuse is a better statement than rejecting the offer. But this second statement, which is accepting the customer's demand of completing the project sooner, is not right. Without even doing the impact analysis, without doing this triple constraint and this triple constraint triangle and doing the impact analysis, you cannot just simply go ahead and accept the customer's demand. So if you accepting that, this means you are not following the proper process. So definitely C is out as well. D, politely refuse the offer and don't do anything. Okay, now out of B and D, both of them are saying that you should reject the offer or you should refuse. But B is more sound, more robust. Why? Because B is giving you a reasoning that why you should reject the offer and instead of just don't do anything. And most of the time, keep one thing in mind, that not doing anything is not the correct thing to do on your project. It's not allowed. This is against your PMI code of ethics and professional responsibility. So in this case, the correct answer is B. Refer to PMBOK page 3 for more information. Okay, tired? Keep on continuing. Few more questions and I'm sure you will learn a lot. You're learning a lot. So take a break if you want. Pause this video. Take a glass of water, coffee, tea, Coke, whatever you like it. Go ahead, do it. And I'm sure you will love it. You're learning a lot. This is more of a learning cycle. Man, I'm also speaking without drinking water. So go ahead. If I can do it, you guys can also do it. Let's do the next question. Which of the following is not considered a project? Okay, read the 4 options, pause the video, give me the answer option and give me the selection. Why do you think so? Which of the following is not considered a project? Yeah, an easy question, honestly. Let's see. Remodeling a kitchen. Okay, first of all, always remember, and I think I told you in this video also, project has two end dates. Not two end dates, sorry, it has two keywords. First, end date. A project should not be like an operation, like going on, and it should have a definite end date. And second, a project should be unique. A project should be unique. Now, in this question, the question is all about which of the following is not a project. Remodeling a kitchen. Of course, you think that remodeling a kitchen will have a definite end date, right? So that is gone. B, building a metro line that will connect cities. Of course, that will have an end date. I'm assuming that might have a longer duration end date, but of course that will definitely have. So that is also a project. C, running an IT help desk team. Okay, running a team. Okay, this is something which is more like an operational term. I don't think so that that is very specific, that will have an end date. You just keep on doing the same thing again and again and again. So C looks more like an operation instead of an end date. So this is actually the correct option. Shooting a feature film, of course you will have an end date to the film. That's why we all can go to multiplex and watch that, right? So D is also out. So out of all the four, I think C is like the best choice. Let's see. Refer to PMBOK page 6 for more information. Thank you. Okay. Next question. We are on question 19. You are conducting a chat session for collecting software requirements. Your customer forces you to include a requirement which you believe is impossible to implement because it works on an unsupported version of a browser. What should you do in such a case? Okay. Again, I repeat, please pause the video right away. Select which option do you think is right and give me the reasoning in the YouTube comments. Guys, you might see that I am replying to each and every comment. So if you really want me to help you, then I really want you to follow this principle. Make sure you're giving me reasoning so that I know where you are making mistakes and what mistakes are those. Okay, let's move ahead. You don't document the requirement. Document the requirement, and consider it as a risk. Try to understand the customer's point of view before documenting the requirement. Customer satisfaction is your primary goal, so document that requirement. Okay, so you believe that this requirement is something which is something impossible to implement. So should you just go ahead and write it because your customer wants it? Okay, let's see it. Don't document the requirement. I would say maybe, correct. B, document the requirement and consider it as a risk. I would say again, maybe, not the best. Try to understand the customer's point of view before document that requirement. Okay, if customer is pushing you for a requirement, you really should try to sit with him, understand what his or her expectation is, and give your expectation and explanation to the customer. So I think just simply taking a decision on don't documenting the requirement or documenting the requirement, it's better to have a discussion first before you take an extreme step. So C looks like the best till now. D, customer satisfaction is your primary goal, so document the requirement. Okay, in real world, I can say customer is God. For me also, like you guys who are watching this video, customer is God. But in the PMI's perspective, customer is not wrong. In your PMP exam, keep one thing in mind, customer is not God. So whatever statement where it is saying that, your customer satisfaction is primary goal, go ahead and do that. No, you won't do that. So D is out as well. So in this case, the correct answer is C. Refer to PMBOK page 3 for more information. Okay, next we are on question number 20th. Let's see, let's do it. Tom is a project manager who is always seen with the PMO director. He excessively and insincerely praises the PMO director to get his work approved. What type of power is Tom practicing? A good question, I would say. Again, pause the video, give me the reasoning. Which one did you select? And of course, please give me the reasoning. I request you, please give me the reasoning for that. Okay. So, in this answer, as you know, PMP exam, PMP certification has, only 4 answer choices. So over here, I'll be explaining these 4 answer choices to you. But honestly, in your PMBOK guide, 6th edition, there are many, many, types of, power which has explained. So I would request, go to my roles organization, video in the in the introduction section on my website, which is the link is in the introduction section, and try to watch that. You will definitely learn a lot, and this is a very important topic. So first we have is the positional. Positional is more like a formal. Formal is think from this perspective, like I'm your boss on papers. I do your performance evaluation. That is your positional power when you show. In this question, it looks like that what Tom is doing is, Tom is actually, insincerely praising it. So that's not positional. Relational is, when you say that, what, I am related to the vice president of the company. I play golf with that person. That is more like a relational. So over here, the keyword in the question is relational. It's, insincerely praising. Ingratiating is something which is where you are insincerely praising the customer. That's actually the keyword for ingratiating. So you should select C, which is your correct answer. And D is referent. Referent is, people respect you because, you have gained that credibility. So that's not what we're doing here. So out of all the 4, C looks like the best answer choice. Please refer to PMBOK page 63. Okay, next question. You are in the process of gathering high-level risk for the project that has to be documented in a project charter. One of the key stakeholders tells you that this project will not succeed because you don't have support from the local government of the developing country where majority of the work will be done. What should you do in this situation? Okay, again, please pause the video right away, think of the answer and give me the reasoning for that answer option in the YouTube comments below. Okay, let's do it. A, immediately stop the work and reach out to sponsor for his or her advice. Really guys, as per PMI code of ethics, you should not, just straight away go to sponsor. First try to find a solution, and then if it's something not in your control, then you should escalate it. So A is out. Find the reason behind the stakeholders comment. Okay, if the stakeholders has given you some information, of course you should find some, due diligence at your end and try to find the reasoning behind it, right? So B looks like a good choice. C, document the stakeholder comment in the charter and continue with the project as this risk will not affect you. Who are you to take the decision that this risk will not affect you? The complete definition of risk is something which is unknown, which can happen on your project, right? So I'm not saying it will necessarily happen, but it might not happen. It might happen also, right? So again, before you document it, first you should get the reasoning and then you should take a decision. So C is out. D, ignore the stakeholders comment because the project sponsor already knows about them. Okay, where did the question state the sponsor already know about it? And how can you even ignore it? This is a risk to your project. You cannot just simply ignore the situation. So D is out as well. So out of all the 4 options, B looks like as the best choice. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition page 3 for more information. Thank you. Okay, next question. We have question 22. It's been 1 year since you were hired by an organization. Your manager allows you to set your own goals and make your own decision. I wish I have a manager like that. What type of leadership style is being displayed by your manager? Okay, pretty good question, and these leadership theories are very, very important from your PMP certification, PMP exam perspective. So make sure you are, going to PMBOK, you are going to my introduction management videos on this section and watching that. Lot of concepts, and over here we'll just explain the 4 concepts. Okay, another point. Pause the video right away. Give me the reasoning for it, why you selected that option in the comments below. Okay, so first is laissez-faire, second is servant leader, third is transformational, and fourth is charismatic. Okay, so laissez-faire, and this is actually the answer of this question, and it's answer option A also. Laissez-faire is a leader who believes in you, a leader who let you handle, set your own goals, and will be always ready to support you in order to make sure you are reaching to that goals. So that is the true definition of lysosphere, which is actually explained in the question. Servant leader is something who put people first and then the work. So servant leader is someone who will say that, okay, let's say if there is some kind of firing going on, then servant leader is someone who would try to make sure that firing doesn't happen in his or her department, because for him people is more people are always given more perspective. That is not being described in the question. Over here they have said he or she lets you make your own goals, and that is actually the definition of lysosphere. Transformational is something which is based upon inventions, something like an entrepreneurship, all those good things will come from transformational leader, like something like this thing, like where I'm explaining a question to you in the video itself. I don't think so any PMP exam simulator does that. Like till now I'm pretty sure nobody does that, where they explain questions to you, where they are doing some kind of elimination techniques and helping you on that. I don't think so. So this is a a transformational leader has taken that decision of giving something similar to the users. Charismatic is someone you are just impressed by the personality of the person. So that is if someone is doing that, that is the charismatic, very good speaker. All those are actually good adjectives of charismatic leader. So in this case, the correct answer is lysosphere. As I told you before, there are many types of leadership style, and these four are just four. But I think there are 8, 9. I don't, not 8, 9. I think 7, 2, 6, 7. I don't remember the exact number. So what I would recommend is go to my in the description below. You will see the videos, a link for my introduction section videos. Just go and watch those videos. You will, trust me, you will love a lot, and you will learn all the different types of leadership style. Okay. Come on guys, you have done it. We are still 3 more questions, 23, 24, 25. Just 3 more questions. You're doing great. If you have reached up to this stage, this means you have done a lot of hard work. And these 3 questions might be the game changer for you. Okay, let's do it. You're a project manager and you have borrowed 2 resources from the functional manager for a product development project. It happens, right? The 2 resources, Ryan and Harris, constantly argue about 2 product features. Okay, conflicts are happening. That is also very much normal. Due to this, the deliverables has missed some deadline. That's not good. What should you do in this scenario? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer choice? Mark it below in the YouTube comments. I'm giving you a minute. I'll just pause this video right away. Okay. So now it looks like that, there are 2 resources, they're having conflicts, and it looks like, your deliverables are being affected by it. What you should do? A, remove them and request 2 new resources. Okay, without even talking to them, you will just simply go ahead and remove them. Are you sure you will take such an extreme step? A is out. That is too extreme of a decision. Meet with them and try to find the root cause. I think, in a normal scenario also, in a real world perspective, I think the first thing I will always do is to meet with them and try to find a solution before taking any extreme step. C, escalate to their functional manager. Again, same thing, I won't go and escalate to the functional managers even if my deliverables are being affected. Firstly, as a project manager, it is my job to make sure I talk to them. If option B doesn't work, then yes, I will escalate to the functional manager. If that also doesn't work, I'll probably remove them, which is answer option A. But my first thing would always be to talk to them. Request the remaining resources to work on the missed deliverables. Okay, are you sure about that? That again, you should find the root cause and you should resolve the root cause of the problem, not just request other people to start doing their work. That is not a good a long-term solution. Might be an interim solution, but not a long-term solution. Out of all the 4 options, B is the best choice. And of course, refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 3, a small paragraph on code of ethics. But if you want a bigger document, reach out to my support team, or you can reach out to me directly also, or if you can go to my introduction management videos, there is a complete video on code of ethics as well. Okay, next question. You're working on a project for a non-profit. As a part of your organization's process, you need to fill out various forms to make sure that you are doing the right thing at the right time. That is actually your work authorization system, doing the right thing at right time in right format. These forms are related to the environmental changes which are caused by the project. This is an example of what? Okay, a good question. So it looks like that there are some mandatory forms which you need to fill, and your project is actually causing some environmental changes. As I told you, something which affects your project, something externally which affects your project, is an example of enterprise environmental factors, which is your answer, option C. We're not talking about portfolio or program over here. Program is something where we are talking about similar projects, or portfolio is like a combination of different projects, programs and operations and things. We're not talking about. So both A and B are gone. Now out of C and D, you might think that risk mitigation is one of the answer choice. Then why not risk mitigation is the correct choice? But you know what? Honestly, there is not just one technique of risk. If it's a threat, there are many other. Like there is avoid. There is transfer. You can use actually many other risk techniques. Where did I say that by filling up the forms you are mitigating the risk? Are you decreasing the probability and impact of those risks by just filling up the forms? No, right? So D is out as well. So out of all the 4 options, this is an example of enterprise environmental factors. So in this case, your correct answer is C. Refer to PMBOK page 38, 6th edition for more information. Okay guys, you did a great job. We are in the last question, which is your question number 25. So if you have reached till now, first of all, I want to give you congratulations, and I'll give you some important information about after this question 25 as well. So stay tuned. You have learned a lot, and I'm pretty sure I did a good job, right, in explaining those videos to you. So, but make sure you've learned a lot. You have, collaborated with me. I have been replying to all your comments on YouTube, and that's how it is. Let's see. You have been assigned as project manager for a software development project. The cost estimate for the project is $100,000. However, you feel that you cannot complete the project within this budget. As per your analysis, the estimate should be at least $125,000. Your sponsor is willing to start the project with another project manager if you don't accept it. What should you do in such a scenario? So it looks like that your sponsor is pushing you to start a project with an estimate which you are not comfortable, which you think is not at all possible. What should you do? Okay, last question. So make sure you are pausing the video, give me the right answer, A, B, C or D, or whatever, not just right answer. If you think why not C is correct or D is correct, give me a reasoning for that. Okay, let's say A, stop the work until your sponsor accepts your estimate. Do you think so? Stopping the work don't you think so? It's a too extreme of a decision to stop the work immediately. So A is gone. Ask the sponsor to assign this project to some other project manager. Really, remember PMI code of ethics and professional conduct. You should take the responsibility. You should not, just tell the sponsor to take, someone else. In this way, you are actually shying away from your responsibility. So B is not right as well. C, submit detailed facts supporting your estimate and then let the sponsor make a decision. Okay, now in this option, you actually did your part by giving detailed facts. So give detailed facts to the sponsor and then let them take a decision. If they want to go with another project manager, they can very well go ahead. But you should not accept the wrong thing. That's what. But before, taking an extreme step, you should, give reasoning and points, which answer option C is doing. D, documented the limited budget as a constraint and continue working on the project. Again, in this, you are actually accepting the wrong thing and you are continuing. So you are actually set up for failure in this case, which you should not be. So D is definitely out as well. So out of all the 4 options, C looks like the best choice. Refer to PMBOK 6th edition, page 3. So here we are, guys, to the last section, and I hope you have liked this exercise. Just in case, if you want to enroll in my program, I have a couple of requests. If you like this exercise, if you want to know more about the PMP, if you want a study plan, then a couple of things I want you to do. First, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's not just a marketing pitch that will help me increase these subscribers. Of course it will help me, but the real reason why I'm asking you to do is because I always come up with new videos, and you want to learn from those new videos, right? So you should subscribe it. Then if this is your second attempt or third attempt, and even if it is your first attempt, you are clueless, you started preparing but you are not sure how to proceed ahead, or you are confused, you find PMBOK very boring, and you want my support, my mentor support in order to make sure you successfully pass the exam, then this is my email address: varun.anand@eduhubspot.com. Just shoot me an email, and trust me, I reply to each and every email I got, and I get a lot, and I reply to each. On one section you will see my next video lessons here, and on one section you will see my favorite video. So go through these couple of videos. In the description there are all the links, and I'm sure I will get you this 3-letter word which is known as PMP after your name. Thank you.